Obviously, early in the half, kind of back and forth, or in the first half went back and forth a little bit, which we expected. I think they're a really good team, and watching film, they have a lot of games where it's neck and neck, it's close. And then there always seems to be kind of one run, two runs that the other team makes on them, and we talked about that before the game, but talked about that again at that media timeout, just under 5 minutes to in the second quarter, and kind of said, hey, I can't tell you when that run's coming. We're kind of going back and forth. Can't tell you when that run's coming, but let's see if we can't push one right now and change the demeanor, change the halftime. And we were able to do that. I thought the key, we talked a little bit about, we had to get stops and we had to get out going in transition, and I think we got 2 transition buckets right away. Had the one leak out that Kate was able to find Debs in transition, and then they just came a little bit easier after that. I thought we kind of struggled against the zone there for stretches in both halves. Yeah. But Kate knocked one down. She was able to find Klotz on a couple, and kind of Klotz.
Is that Kate's first start?
That's Kate's first start, yeah. And I feel like I've been talking here for the last couple of days that she's had some really good practices. I really, really felt comfortable with her out there, and I felt that she was about to show today a lot of people what she could do. And it may not have shown up in the box score completely. She made a couple big buckets, some toughness buckets, but I thought she kind of had a really calming influence out there. For us to only have 3 turnovers in the first half, I can't tell you the last time that's happened, and that was without our 2 top point guards. So I thought between she and Ty, they really managed that very, very well. Was very proud of Kate in particular, but I thought Tyler you saw what a senior is supposed to do. She really had that calming presence today. It was. We had 14 turnovers in the first half on Wednesday, and just kind of some careless ones. Obviously, when you play a team like Loyola, and Joe's a really good coach and kind of forced us out of our comfort zone a little bit, we struggled. But I thought even in the third quarter, I think we had maybe 2 or 3 turnovers in the third quarter on Wednesday. We were really pretty good, I thought, in the second half, and we really made sure, the last couple of days, we knew they'd come at us with some pressure. And like I said, for these guys to play as well as they did in that first half and only have 3 turnovers and a couple tough ones, where we get up to 11, a couple tough ones late. But that was something that we felt if we didn't handle the basketball well, there's potential for us to not be happy come 6 o'clock tonight. And I thought we really did a good job of managing that. We really battled on the offensive boards today, and sometimes that led to some transition buckets for them. But we got some extra possessions, both with Klotz and DeBoer and Sune, getting those extra possessions. I don't know how many times we scored on it. Second chance points, 17 points. That's outstanding. And on top of the 22 points that we were able to get off their turnovers, that's kind of flipped the script a little bit for what we've been able to do. I feel like we've given teams a lot off our turnovers. And I think we talked about this the other day, that Loyola had 29 points off of our turnovers, and that's not supposed to happen. And I thought we corrected that today.
I definitely think we can play off each other really well because Jackie's a great shooter, and I feel like when people double down on me in the post, she's wide open and I can kick it out to her and I know she'll make it, or she'll pull up and she can hit any shot on the court. So it's just nice to know that I have another player out there that really can do anything.
I've said it to Debs before, I probably have yet to see someone who I think can actually stop her, and I don't really expect that I'll see somebody anytime soon. So I know that when I see her with a one-on-one, I'll give it to her, and it's a guaranteed basket. And when you have something like that, and we do have a lot of confidence and trust in each other and work off of each other on the floor, because teams can't really stop that. And we know how to execute what we're good at, each one of us. And I wouldn't want to do this with anybody else besides Debs.
This is a really tough league, and every team that you go against, you sit there as a coach, they're really good at this, and BU's record probably isn't fair to how well I think they've played in a lot of stretches this year. But sometimes you have to look over at the other coach and say that they've been watching film and trying to find ways to stop DeBoer and Klotz. That's a really, really tough cover. And obviously we've got a tough one coming up with Minato. But I think when the other team scout starts with these 2 guys and the other kids on our team, they've really stepped up, and some key moments, because we obviously have had to go deep into our bench. But I think when the other team scout can start with these 2, that's not a position I envy as a coach.
I think our defense really gave us energy. We just weren't really getting stops, basically the whole beginning of the first half. But I thought by the end of the second quarter, we started getting stops and steals, and we were running in transition, which really gives us a lot of energy on our offense. So I thought that helped a lot. I just felt like I had to attack more. I felt like I didn't really do much in the first quarter, honestly, and then I just took it upon myself that I just needed to attack more, I think.
We haven't played a ton of zone. We played, I thought, a fair amount on Wednesday, and I think that played a part in kind of changing the game a little bit on Wednesday. And we have worked on it here a little bit. Again, you got to find some things that your group does well, and not that Kai or Megan weren't doing either of these things well, but hey, if we're a little bit bigger, maybe we can kind of use our length a little bit more in the zone. And, not to go Jedi mind trick, but for them to go, make four threes in the first quarter, you're kind of wondering how much you want to let them, continue to shoot. But sometimes, especially in our zone, I feel like sometimes we can find shooters a little bit easier in our zone. And I thought we did a good job of IDing the shooters, did a good job, for the most part, of closing out on the shooters out of our zone. And then rebounded out of it. Was big.
Whatever coach wants us to play.
Wow.
We can do whatever he asks of us.
I know for sure about number 52. She just shouldn't have been getting those boards, especially the offensive boards, and we just needed to box out and do better on defense in general and rebound. But I thought we had a good stretch at the end of the first half, so that was definitely a positive note, and I thought we brought it over into the second half, so that's good. I think defense gives us energy for our offense. Defense is what we want our identity to be, and if we don't play defense, we can't win games. So
this group, I'm not even amazed by it anymore, and not to sound arrogant by any stretch, but I had some family in town yesterday and wasn't worried. And some of that had to do with I knew Kate was going to come out there and play well, and seeing that in practice. But these guys, I said this before the game, they've risen to the occasion every single time that we've had adversity, whether that's been, coaching, member of the coaching staff in an accident earlier in the year. We've kind of found ways to manage that. We've had kids that have been hurt, mono. We had a couple practices early in the season that we had 5-6 kids. We had a practice this week that we had 5 kids cleared for practice, and that's never been talked about really. It's never been an excuse. It's never been, hey, as long as hey, we were winning when we got hurt, and then there was injuries, and then our season derailed.
Yeah.
We've never thought about that. We have enough here.
What happened?
Yeah, we've had enough here, and every single time these guys have risen to the occasion. We've put even more on these two shoulders, which can be tough. But even kids that have not been playing big minutes have stepped up and played huge. I thought Rachel and Kate were both good, and Mickelson gave us great minutes last Saturday and again today.